that better? I think that's better. Right there is good. So for the past 2 weeks, my car's been having some misfiring issues. So I'm going to do what any sane person would do, and I'm going to ignore it, and I'm going to cut my bumper in half. Cutting it in half is a bit of an exaggeration. I'm going to do what I did with the rear bumper a couple weeks ago. I didn't film it because I got so excited I didn't take the camera out, which is something I do a lot actually. Anyways, this is part of the bumper, and it's supposed to attach to the bottom, and I cut it with a razor knife all the way along, and then I just moved it on top. We're just gonna follow this factory seam here, cut it open with a razor blade, and then it's just gonna get moved up a bit. It took about 5 minutes, so for the next side, I'm just gonna skip it. I've always wanted to try this edit. Much better. So it's on now, and I could leave it like that if I wanted. That would be the cheapest way to do it, but I find that looks pretty basic, and I want it to still have a sort of tough look. So I'm gonna put this back on. Just higher up. Exactly like this. I'll get a little mannequin. It'll look great. But it's like $5 for bolts and nuts to bolt it on. It'll give it a sort of riveted look. Because I was looking at prices for custom bumpers to get them made or to even make one myself, and all these steel bumpers ends up costing a lot, and it's a lot of added weight. So for me, this was a cheap way give myself a better approach angle and to just make it look a bit tougher. And it's like a $5 modification. Anyone with a bumper could do something like this, or you can just cut it how it is right now and leave it. Right, so this center mass has to get cut out, so I did it out on this side, and because of this plastic chunk here, I need to cut out a notch here that this can tuck into. So I guess I'll get some chalk, make some measurements, and then cut it with my my Sawzall blade attached to a grinder handle, which is my artisan's saw. I messed up. So it's seated in here, and it covers this cavity up nice, which is what I was hoping for. But I cut it a bit too large over here. So you can see that tiny little gap where you can see through the bumper. So there's no choice. I'm just gonna have to sell the whole car and buy a Jetta. It's a hot day today. It's at 29 degrees right now, and it's only 10 in the morning. So if my head's looking a bit saturated, it's because I stuck it in a bucket of water. Well, I mean, it isn't perfect. If you look at it from far away, I think it looks pretty good. But when you get up close, you can see that there are some gaps. The camera focuses, yeah, there's a bit of gap there. I might fill it with just black silicone and then razor bladed level. I might not bother because I don't care too much. And then there's some spots where I didn't drill the hole super straight. You know, it looks a bit more rat rod like than I would prefer, but I don't care. I think for $5, I think it's fine. So I got to do the other side, which I won't bother filming, and then I'll install it on the car. If you want to see what the other side looks like, just invert the camera or invert the video and rewatch what I just did, because it's going to be the same thing. Just whoop. It started raining and then it stopped raining, then started raining again, and anyways, many hours have passed, many past hours are, and it's done. So I'm not super happy with it, if I'm totally honest. It kind of looks like when it's a chipmunk is packing up nuts for the winter and their cheeks are super puffed up. It's kind of what it looks like now. But when you look at it from the side, I think it looks pretty good. Got a better approach angle. One thing I am going to do is I'm going to bend up the skid plate angle more and try and fix the dents in it. I'm going to try and bend that up so it meets the bottom of the bull bar. And I think that'll help complete the look on it. And I messed up on this side worse than I messed up on the other side. Weep. I can fit 2 fingers in there. So I kept a scrap of plastic and I'm gonna JB weld it, and hopefully that'll cover it up a bit more. And I lost an Allen key. It's somewhere over here. So if you see a black Allen key on the ground, let me know in the comments.